Okay, we're back. I don't know why. Like, I don't know why the stream does this. Let's see. Okay, we're here for two reasons and two reasons only, guys. We try to help you every morning at 7 a.m. feel more connected in your real life. We do that via answering questions about community and questions about communication. So when people call into the show, which they can do by texting 512-591-6138 to join the call queue, one, they get all these benefits for joining, but so you don't want to join, you don't want to have $100 in your pocket just for calling into a stream, that's okay, because we go on Reddit and we look at people's questions, comments, real life scenarios about community, about communication. We try to give y'all advice here based on real world scenarios that we see on Reddit. I'm sure Reddit's not the best quality for that stuff, but you see I have Reddit pulled up right here, and this is what we'll be scrolling through. However, we also trade every morning. So right now, I'm going to do my market analysis because we'll get to community questions and communication questions after that, or any dog poop horror stories, heartwarming dog stories to kind of put a smile on your face, help you de-stress, feel more supported in your life. We're also trying to do that, but this is about community, and community is all about inviting you into my life. And my life right now is trading from 7 to 8 a.m. That is what I do. I also sometimes give business updates. We're just vibing. We're just streaming, hoping some people join, ask some questions, get some value, or if not, they get value from the shorts that I post from the stream when I'm answering those community questions and communication questions from Reddit. So let's TradeAway's not really working right now. Give it a second. Huh. So interesting. Here we go. Let's see if that works. Seems like something's going on with TradeAway. Maybe it's just my internet. I'm not really sure what is going on. Here we go. See if there's any news today. Yep, 7:30. Unemployment claims. If we could ever get the market up, we'd see how it's going. Yeah, guys, I think my internet is shot right now, which is annoying. Hopefully you guys can still hear me clear on the stream. We literally bought some backup internet for this reason, but, you know, the weather outside is frightful. So maybe that's causing it. And my stream says it's going well, no drop frames, so we're just going to keep going. We're also going to start recording so we know that we have those clips. I guess in the meantime, we'll go through Reddit, make some segments. I guess we're going to have to skip trading today because my freaking internet doesn't work. That's super annoying. But what's weird is I'm streaming right now, so it's working well enough to stream, clearly. Anyway, let's see what we got. Man, yeah, this is an internet issue for sure. It's weird that it's working well enough to stream, but not well enough to load anything else. Yeah. So, guys, yesterday it was somebody's birthday. Not yesterday. Well, I guess, yeah, yesterday it was somebody's birthday. And nobody really wished them happy birthday. So they were talking about it. And I kind of gave them some advice on what I think might help them out. Because they've been struggling with a crushing loneliness. Small town, no social scene. All right. So I said, happy birthday. I'm not sure why you're in the town you're in, but it might be worth it to move to another town if there are various. Yeah, so I was like, hey, you might want to move. If you can't move, do these things. And they were like, and basically these things were like, make more invites to dinner / people on apps, communicate what you want the friendship to look like. It's okay to prompt in the beginning. My question is, do they stick around long enough to next year finally count potential friendships in terms of hundreds instead of ones? Give a lot of people a shot before you throw in the towel. I think that's just good advice in general. And then they responded, the economy's keeping them in their town, which I think is the case for a lot of people. Economy keeps you places where you don't want to be. Still making steps, but no giant leaps yet to leave the town. Pretty extroverted, surprisingly, so I never really mind going to places, but it gets real hard when there's nowhere to go, you know? Gotta just find it, I guess. I won't give up, of course. Thanks for the input. I'll be giving it all thought. We don't give career advice, but I would make a reel about this if we did. All right, guys. I don't know why this took so long, but the markets are up now. So let's do our little analysis. Here we go. We're looking for the most recent internal or external liquidity. So this is creating a high. This has created a low that hasn't been swept. Nothing. This is a high that hasn't been swept. This is a low that hasn't been swept. Man, it's just been kind of consolidating. Here's a high that was swept. So let's go here. So you have this candle, and then you have, okay, sweep of the high. So now we're looking for it to go internal. So we would need a bullish order block, which is actually this candle right here. So let's see how it interacted with the order block. So it dropped 50% into the order block and it's coming back up. So right now we're going from internal order block, 50%, to the next high, which right now is a 3 a.m. high. So we're going from the 2 a.m. order block, 50% of the 2 a.m. bullish order block, to the 3 a.m. high, and we've already tapped into the 50%, got rejected, had a nice kind of upswing. And now we're going to the 1 minute to look for the opposite of what's happening. So I'm also a little nervous about this because, as you see, we created a bullish fair value gap with a CISD here, and then it failed. And now we've really changed the state of delivery on the 1 minute, and we're respecting bearish price action. So I kind of want to look and make sure I'm not missing anything on the 1 hour. It's like we made that high. It respected this order block, but it didn't go to the next high. So the question is it like turning around here? Unclear. I'm not really clear. I mean, the last liquidity is this order block being tapped into at this 5 a.m. mark, like the 50% of it. And so we would be going to a high. We won't really know if that's invalid until it takes this low at 2 a.m., which is also the order block, funny enough. So, yeah, unless the 1 minute does something amazing, like creates a bullish fair value gap going up, takes this high, then I'll take it. But I also don't like how bullish fair value gaps have been disrespected right here at 651. So this is a question. This is what I would ask Theo usually. See what he's thinking. Maybe when he hops on. Well, the other thing about this, guys, we did see there's news at 7:30, and so a lot of times when the market's looking disgusting, it's either a no trade day or a news day. So after the news, a lot of this might clean up. So I think I'm gonna wait to trade until the news hits. Kind of at a minimum. And so we'll reconvene at 7:30. But now we're going to jump right back into Reddit. So let me pull that up. We're going to try to find something to give advice to, really. And we're going to do it live. We're going to create a segment here live. And we'll go from there. All right, let's see. Illness is going around now. That's in Austin. Tried for years at making new friends, but nothing worked. Guys, I think I got banned from this. Let me see. Pretty sure I got banned from this, but let's see. Yeah. Let me leave this. Can't pitch the stream in Reddit, guys. Let's see if we can find a different one. 26 male, dating girlfriend, 27 female for about 7 months now. Completely long distance. How do I deal with the change that's happened? Ghosted after first date. My people don't exist. Here we go. Here's a good one. I'm struggling with a deep sense of loneliness and the belief that the kind of genuine connection I crave is actually just a myth. I had a painful experience recently at a work holiday dinner. I was sitting alone, completely disconnected, and all I could focus on was how utterly shallow the whole thing was. Like everyone being excited about the ugly Christmas sweater contest. I relate to you, purple traveler. Instead of feeling festive, my mind just fixated on the wastefulness of the whole ritual. Why buy a new sweater just to wear it once? What is the point of all this performative consumerism? I felt like an alien because I knew that if I brought up that thought, no one around me would get it. It reinforced a devastating feeling that I have nothing in common with the people around me and that there is simply no audience for my actual thoughts, the complex, critical, philosophical, or unusual things I think about. It feels like my thought process is too niche, too analytical, or too different to ever be shared. If I haven't found my people by now, I have to conclude that they don't exist and that the search is pointless. I feel incredibly hopeless and exhausted by trying to bridge this gap. Can anyone relate to that feeling of being an observer of life, completely disconnected from the things everyone else seems to enjoy? So they're venting and they're looking for commiseration. Kind of classic in Reddit, but for people who are watching this and feel that way or feel this way on social media and want advice, I will be making a reel about this. So let's see what ChatGPT comes up with, and then I'll see. Look at this ChatGPT ads. Wild. So what is my response to this? First, you gotta define connection. Everybody wants to have a great relationship, but few people define clearly what a great relationship looks like. These are just going to be my points for the reel. And guys, I read this in a book. It was like, everybody wants to have a great day, but nobody knows what a great day looks like. It's like, how can you have a great day if you don't know what it looks like? It's very easy to have a bad day because it's very reactive, but to have a great day, it's very proactive. You have to make that stuff happen. Just keep my eye on the market, you know. I had a painful experience at a work holiday. I was sitting alone, completely disconnected, and all I could focus on was how utterly shallow the whole thing was. Say no to activities that don't help your defined goal. This is funny. Even if you're 1 in a million, there's 8 billion people, which means if you're 1 in a million, there are 8,000 people like you. Realize there are 8 billion people in the world, and even if you're 1 in a million, there are 8,000 people exactly like you. Do you think you could find 6 of them? That's funny. So you need to stop tolerating BS. Never give up on finding your people. Just cycle through faster. By going to activities with people who have shared interests. We're just out here trying to change lives, guys. You know what I mean? See what ChatGPT comes up with. Clean it up a little bit. I really just need the hook. I have my 4 points, and the segue is helpful. Okay, so we're actually getting. So we have a high that was just taken with a fair value gap, with the order block still valid. Yep. So high taken, bullish fair value gap. Since it's not the first fair value gap, we actually need 50% of the order block, but this is a trade we are going to be taking. 25,649. Twenty-five, 648, 2, 643. So 5. We'll go 6 points. 16. Nope, we'll go 5 points. 20. Six, 5, 8. We're going 5.75. We need to go 11.5. So 10, 5, 9, and then 60.25, I believe. And this would be 20. See if it even fills me at 20. Might not even give me a fill, guys, honestly. Yeah, no fill. I'm not. Well, yeah, I don't think I'm chasing that if it comes all the way back down here. Actually, a little unclear if I should take this trade or not. think I'm only supposed to not take it after it's done 1 hour from doing some type of liquidity. Unclear. I'll have to ask Theo about that. Let's see if he's chatting me up right now. Nope, don't think he is. Oh gosh, I said I wasn't taking a trade till 7:30. We're about to be in the news. Whew, glad I remembered. Okay, back to this. Yeah, ChatGPT sucked this up. I just really need a good hook. I have my value points. Yep, I like this one. And that's why you don't frickin' mess around with the news. That is crazy work. Absolutely insane. Insane, guys. All right, let's see what we got here. Market's a joke, bro. Okay, here we go. We're going to give this a shot, guys. This is going to be a long one. I don't have my glasses, so I can't really see, but man, the market is crazy. I'm so glad I didn't trade. Anyway, here we go. So this is going to be around 26:15. Sorry, we're going to write it out real quick. 26, 23-ish. Here we go. Is it possible to stop feeling misunderstood and actually feel in sync with people in your life, even if you've always felt too different? Feeling like you're too much or too different is super common, but I have 4 secrets that might just help you out of your loneliness. First, you want to define the connection you want. Everybody wants to have a great friendship, but few people define what a great friendship looks like. When you have that clarity, you can move forward towards it. And 2, stop tolerating the BS. Say no to activities that don't fit within your defined scope of what a good friendship looks like. When you remove all the stuff that sucks, you make room for the stuff that's good. 3, never give up on finding your people. Literally, there are 8 billion people in the world, which means if you're 1 in a million, there are 8,000 people just like you. Do you think that you could find 6 of them? Take the time, do activities with people who are like-minded, and eventually you'll find your people. 4th, stop being an observer and be a creator. Create a space for people like you, because there are definitely people out there who are feeling like you're feeling. Lonely, not known, not heard, and like there's nobody else who shares their interests. So create a space for people like them, because your voice is not an outlier. It's a lighthouse waiting for its horizon. So guys, we kind of killed that. I won't lie. I will say my reels are way too long. Like they're like a minute 20 seconds most of the time. So we're gonna keep this one, but we're gonna try and shorten them up in the future. Might have to take out the segue. Just focus on the hook, 3 steps, the close. We just have too many words. So 26, 23 on 12:4. So first, want to empathize before you give people advice. Feeling like you're the only person like you is a very common human experience. It's worth noting how many people have you interacted with in a meaningful way. Where are people doing that? And more people, more shots might surprise you. Okay. Okay. Let's look for a second one, guys. Waking up at 3 a.m., but not always. My boyfriend defended another girl while I was opening up about my feelings. Should I leave? Ooh. I kind of want to read this one, but I'm not going to give advice to it because it sounds like she just needs accountability, depending on what the boyfriend defended, honestly. Let's see. While I was waiting for him, he showed up walking with another girl. He never told me he was coming with someone, so seeing them together like that really shocked me and made me uncomfortable, and I saw that they are texting about uni stuff, and that's fine with me if it's about uni. Later, when I tried to explain how that situation made me feel, instead of focusing on my feelings, he kept defending her and saying she's nice and acting like I was attacking her. I'll admit, in the heat of the moment, after he kept defending her and invalidating me, I said something rude about her. I called her a bad word. I regret that it wasn't fair, but he's now acting like that is the whole problem and ignoring everything else. I wasn't attacking her. Okay. Yeah, I don't think she's really tripping that much. I was just trying to talk about how I felt and why it bothered me that he didn't communicate or show any loyalty to me in that moment. So, yeah, I don't think she's really tripping. I do think there's some insecurity going on there. Specifically because I used to have that too. Like, 2 people walking together, completely normal. But depending on how you grew up or what your parents' relationship was like or what you think about love and relationships, you might be insecure about something like that. So um, that's just a tough one because they're really young. He's probably not as insecure. Maybe he had healthier family dynamics than she did. And so, yeah, this isn't a community or communication issue. It could be a communication issue right here. Like, how do you communicate your feelings when someone is being defensive? How do you communicate your feelings? I think the answer is you don't. You get to the reason why they're defensive, and that just takes a lot of emotional maturity. Like, she has to realize that he is like on guard about something. Like, maybe he feels like she's saying something about him that he doesn't think is true, so now he's trying to defend his pride by defending the girl. Yeah, the part that hurts the most if he defended her more than he defended me, and he treated her with more care and respect than he offers me in our relationship. I keep thinking, if he could be that gentle, protective, and respectful toward another woman, why can't he give me that? He says he doesn't see anything wrong, refuses to apologize, and says I'm overreacting. I feel unheard and unimportant. Is this a valid boundary? Man, that is tough because I could see both things happening. Like, she is a little exaggerated. How would I communicate through this? I really just need more context. Like, I need the actual situation, because obviously these are rose-colored glasses. Like, this is her Reddit post about her boyfriend and another girl where she was emotionally charged, called her a bad word. Didn't mention that, though, until she kind of set it up so that would be justified, So she could have done it completely unjustified. They had been walking together for 2 minutes, and she's freaking out. And he's like, yo, we literally were coming from class together, and I was meeting you for lunch. So, and we were talking about our project. That could be a real scenario. Or he could be sleeping with that girl behind her back, and, like, that's why he's defending her. Like, both things could be true. So, how would I communicate if I was her? How would I communicate if I was her? Made feel instead of focusing on my feelings, he kept defending her and saying she's nice and acting like I was attacking her. All in the heat of the moment, he kept defending her and validating me. Yeah, I don't know. Is the music still going? Brother, my music done paused. Huh. I think this is also pretty, like, the fact that he treated her with more care and more respect than he offers me in our relationship. That's not about her. That's not about him walking up with another girl. That's about, like, I think the first step I would do is, like, maybe we will make a post on this. Get clear on where the feelings come from. That's, like, super important. Are you mad about the present situation or a longer history of not being cared for / respected? Here at the other side. 3, ask for permission to share. 4, share something you wrote down to avoid any emotional lashing out. Elaborate when they ask questions. Okay. Let's see what we got. I wonder what the comments were saying about it. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. She said, what hurts me is that this isn't the first time I've seen him show more care, respect, and patience toward other people than he shows toward me. So, like, this, like, she wasn't overreacting to him walking up with another girl. It's like, how are you doing this again when I feel unseen? Like, that's the real question. That's really why she's, like, calling this girl a bad word. It's like, how are you doing this again when I feel unseen? And it's important to, like, communicate that. Like, when I tried to explain how that situation made me feel, instead of focusing on my feelings, he kept defending her. See, because he's defending the situation that doesn't have anything wrong with it. But she's talking about her feelings, which are that situation and some. So she's trying to reference something. She's trying to take an emotion she has and put it to a reference moment that doesn't tell the whole story. And so now he's like, that makes no sense that you're feeling that way. I literally don't know why you're talking to me about this. This is stupid. You're overreacting. When she's like, no, this is one example of many examples, and it's a pattern in our relationship, and it makes me sad. That's what she's coming to him with. And he's hearing, you're crazy for, like, walking up with this girl. He's like, what are you talking about? So, look at that. You read the comments, you get more context. Who would have thought? You know what? I'm gonna add something here. Clear on where your feelings come from. Are you mad about the present situation or a longer history of not being cared for / respected? Hear out the other side. How does he view how he cares for you? You want to ask for permission to share your side. Once he feels understood, you're clear to share in a productive way. This may sound absurd, but it'll be more effective. Share something you wrote down to avoid any emotional lashing out. 5, tell him what you'd like him to do differently. I noticed your tone with other women is softer. Can you use that tone with me? I noticed you opened the door for them. Can you do that for me? Okay. Now I'm feeling like we're kind of cooking with this one. I think this one might actually be helpful. Let's see what ChatGPT came up with. See if I can get a good hook out of it. Okay. I see you doing nothing but blaming yourself after conflict. So these hooks suck. This is what your relationship looks like. Hmm. What about like if your partner is always deflecting and you share emotions? Try this. Okay, we'll do this. Make a segue. These value points. Hopefully this helps her out. Freaking stock market, bro. Okay, we're gonna run this. Okay, here we go. We're gonna try and run this. It's gonna be at 45:30. We'll go 45:40. Okay. If your friend or spouse keeps deflecting your feelings and you want to be heard again, okay, we're gonna reset that. 45:50. 45:52. If your friend or spouse keeps deflecting your feelings every time you speak about them and you want to feel heard again, listen to this. Feeling dismissed is confusing and painful, but these 5 shifts can help you communicate in a way that is effective and rebuilds that emotional safety in the relationship. So first, you want to get clear on the source of your feelings. Are you upset about this moment specifically, or is there something in the past that has built up over the course of a relationship that you are really talking about and you need to communicate that with your partner or your spouse or your friend. Second, you want to hear their perspective before offering yours. Ask questions about the situation, about the scenario, about the series of events that led to that feeling so you can get their side. And then three, ask for permission to share your side next. I know that sounds absurd, but you want to hear them first so they feel safe, make sure they feel understood, and then ask to share your side and if they're ready to listen. 4, use something written to stay grounded. Write down your points very clearly, very concisely, so you know what points you're trying to make and you can communicate to them to your spouse or your friend clearly. And 5, name the specific behaviors that you want changed afterwards. Relationships, we're just gonna run that whole thing back. We don't like the close there. Let's see. Well, how are we gonna close this? You're not asking for more. Just a tennis he already knows how to give. No. Want to be heard, make sure you hear first and communicate clearly next. All right, we're gonna run that back, guys. This is gonna be really 48, kind of 05-ish. Here we go. If your partner or your friend keeps deflecting your feelings when you speak about them, you're going to want to listen to this. The first thing you want to do is get clear on the source of your feelings. Are you upset about this moment or a longer series of events that led to this feeling? Second, you want to hear their perspective on the situation, on the series of events before offering yours. This will put them on your side as opposed to on the defensive. Third, you want to ask for your permission to speak once they're fully understood. I know that sounds crazy, but it's going to be effective because you guys are on the same side now and they're ready to listen. Fourth, you want to use something that you wrote down to stay grounded. When you start talking about your emotions, you can start to flail. If you write down specific sentences and communicate clearly via reading, you can avoid some of that emotional lashing out that makes communication ineffective. And fifth, you want to use specific behaviors and name them that you want them to change going forward, because if you want to be heard, you need to make sure that you hear them first and communicate clearly afterwards. We'll take that version. I missed some stuff. Like I missed the whole segue. I don't think it needed the segue though. 4805 is good. And we'll just call it there. It's hard to like make these on the fly, make them good, but I like it. You guys get to see it happen live, and I'm like doing the whole process here. So it is what it is. Let me check chat real quick, because I have been neglecting you guys. That is faux show. All right, guys, we're good to go. That's the stream today. There was no trading that really happened. We'll send this to them real quick, and maybe we'll do another one just via responding, not actually creating a reel about it, and then go from there. I'm not even sure you're describing a boundary. It's not clear what you want him to do / not do. I take the time to plan a way to communicate your emotions clearly. Without more context, it's easy to see how either party could be at fault. Honestly, it sounds like there's more going on than just this event, because of the lack of care / respect. Boy, market is wilding. That's all we got for you guys though today. We're gonna hop off, go to work. But boy, it is crazy out here. Consolidation, huge 7:30 drop, big 8 a.m. climb. I wonder what 8:30 is gonna look like. I mean, did it go to sweep that high actually? So we had the order block here at 2 a.m. At 7 a.m. we were trying to take it long through the high. It hasn't swept the high yet, hasn't done the order block. So honestly, even post news, like we could take this trade, you know, if I had more time to sit here. If it dropped back to 25,654, you could take this trade. The risk to reward would be horrible. But hey, crazier things. All right, y'all. We out though. Thanks for joining the stream. I hope the clips helped. If not, hope they help somebody else on social media. And again, you guys can call in anytime. Like I do want call in, so let me know. Oh, we did give out $100 last month to somebody who called in. They were the ones who called in, so they didn't have to do that much to get the 100. Anyway, I'll catch y'all on the flip. Peace.